Nebraska faces arguably their toughest challenge of the season at Michigan on Saturday. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline.com. We caught up with Nebraska's offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, defensive coordinator, Bill Busch here on Wednesday. And first things first, Mark Whipple gave the latest on quarterback Casey Thompson.
Yeah, Casey's gotten better, a lot better. And then, Logan and Chubb have I see a little more confidence in those guys from playing last week, just handling things better, so that's promising.
And that decision as far as who will be the starting quarterback for Nebraska will probably go all the way into the week.
See where everybody's at tomorrow afternoon, and that way. So, Casey's played enough that you can get a guy ready in a little bit. He's mentally there. He's been in the meetings and done some stuff. So, and the two other guys got some game action. So, I feel better about it than.
Casey thrown today?
It was not really, but he's out there. So.
Big question about Logan Smothers is, has he practiced better during the week? That's been one of the things that the coaching staff has kind of dinged him on and said it's what's kept him off the field the last 2 weeks at times.
He really had his best week of practice, and both those guys have had their best week this week. Chubb has been a lot more consistent throughout, but I told that to Logan. I said I had a lot of respect for you. It's not easy to maybe start a game and be third, but he stepped up during practice, and he's continued that, and he's certainly been around here longer than Chubb has. But all the guys both those guys have gotten great support from their teammates. There hasn't been any word that way. It's we'll just see how we go on that part. There's certain plays that Logan does a little bit better than Chubba, and certain things Chubba does. So we just see how it is. Really, I don't make those decisions really till Friday, till I see the guys that way. And, the plan doesn't change, but they each have a set of plays. The same with the running backs that way.
Meanwhile, Nebraska's defense under Busch faces a big challenge as Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines have one of the best offenses, not only in the Big Ten, but maybe in all of college football.
Happy with where we're at. Got a lot of work to do. Obviously, we're playing a fantastic football team, I think number 3 in the country, and deservedly so. They could easily be a 1 in the country. So I have a lot of respect for their head coach and how he has built his team and how they handle things and how his offensive coordinator calls the game and has built his team. So a lot of work ahead.
They'll be led by a talented running back, Blake Corum. The Huskers have now seen 3 of the top backs in the country the last 3 weeks.
A lot of similarities. I never want to just name and rank someone that he's 1, 2, and 3, but I know this, like that, there's no one better. He might be even with some people, but there's no one better than what he is. So my respect for him is very high. So I think what Coach Harbaugh said is 100% accurate. The thing that stands out, first of all, is durability, the number of snaps he's taken, and to be able to carry and be very healthy with it. He doesn't miss cuts. He does a great job with the football. He's very competitive. So he does a lot of everything really, really well. And so obviously we have our hands full. We're kind of used to that now. Seems like every week that we have our hands full with someone in that nature right there. But he's a special talent, and I have great respect for him.
The Husker defense played really well in the first half against Minnesota, but Busch said they still needed to figure out a way to maybe get a turnover or two to really turn the tide of that game.
We always want to be better with what you're doing, but right now our kids are fighting at a very high level on defense. We just got to be able to do a couple things better. Last game we got off the field really well on third down. I think they were 3 of 11, so that helped us give us a chance on some different things. But we just got to do better, across the board to be able to give our offense the ball back. And we didn't get any turnovers last week, so that was a struggle for us.
And Busch also addressed the situation with defensive back Miles Farmer, who will miss this week's game after being charged with a DUI early Sunday morning.
Well, I mentioned this before that Miles, I felt, has made a dramatic improvement in tackling. He had 14 tackles, and I had him in on 26 other ones that he was involved with. And so he's done a very good job of that. So losing him is a big piece of us that's going to hurt us. On that note, the young man made a mistake. He's taken it extremely serious. We know how impaired driving has affected people throughout the world, and he's very serious about it. He knows he made a mistake. We're not taking it lightly, and we'll handle it the right way, and it's being handled internally. But like his coach said, he'll be suspended for this game, and like I said, he is devastated on how he handled himself in that situation. And again, but across the board right there, we are very aware of how devastating impaired driving is.
And then finally, a lot of buzz this week about being underdogs. Nebraska, a near 30-point road dog in the Big House. Both Bush and Whipple gave their thoughts on that.
That's the first time I don't ever look at that. I lost $60 when I was a freshman at Brown and never gambled since. So I got smart that way. But yeah, I coached at UMass. We played Florida. We played at Mississippi State. We played at South Carolina. So I don't ever look at it, and I know how good Michigan is, and I know how good we can be, and you just want to put your best foot forward.
Zero difference in any of that. It's just we're just playing a talented football team, and we attack the scheme with what we have to be able to get done and what their accountability is. And right now, our guys they're in the. I've mentioned before, our players are up in our office all the time. They're in the hallway. They're around. They're watching film together. They're constantly coming into the room. If we're in a meeting, they'll come in, stick their head in. So they're constantly preparing themselves to play on Saturday. So no different like that. There will be, because that stuff I learned that really fast, is like that, some sort of we're not watching Hoosiers or something before the game, like that. We're just going to get 11 guys out there and line up and play defense.
Look for Phelan Sanford to be the guy that Nebraska turns to step into that spot for Farmer on Saturday. With the Huskers in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.